gotta get your brain right if you're trying to make $1 million. If you ain't gonna do it for yourself, then do it for your mama. Only stay surrounded by them people if you know they solid. Elevate your hustle up today to double up your profit. Trying to learn some game, Xavier gonna talk about it. No Deanna, speak that that everybody vouching. Ain't no more excuses valid. Get up off the couch and get up in your bag. To your bank account, need an accountant.
Yo, welcome back to the greatest show on earth. I am your host, Xavier. And today, man, we back at it, man. I got my guy in the studio. We left off on some real heavy stuff. So I had to bring my boy back, and it's Dr.
Rose. In the building, the one and legendary, the walking legend.
The walking legend, Dr.
Yes,
Rose,
sir,
man. And this is gonna be nothing but a legendary episode, and so I'm glad to pick up where we left off. But before we get into all that, we have to go into our first sponsor really quick.
Hey, you guys. Making money outside of your 9-to-5 or your main income stream sometimes can be tough, as you have limited amount of time, energy, and money. But when you invest in starting a car rental business, all of those excuses get thrown right in the trash. The car rental business is one of the easiest ways to start generating 4 to 5 figures a month in passive income. And it just got easier with the help of the Car Rental Blueprint. The Car Rental Blueprint provides information and systems you need to skip the headaches and get straight to the cash flow. You'll learn how to start, scale, and automate your car rental business quickly, even if you have limited time, money, or perfect credit. So click the link in the show notes and use the code MMPOD to get 50% off. And when the cash flow starts filling up your bank account, thank us later. Now let's get back to another amazing episode. And if you want to learn more about the car rental business, go check out episode 142 with special guest Brian.
So last episode we did, the people don't know, after the episode, off camera, me and you had a long, deep conversation.
That's where
man.
the good shit
that's
is.
That's what really the good. I wish we had a camera record that, man. I said, man, we got to get back in the studio ASAP and have another conversation, man. And we here today getting it done.
Man. As expected, man. Today you get the unspoken, what we talked about last time, and about branding, merchandise.
Mm-hmm.
Everything stems from a lifestyle and making your truth really something marketable. You know what I mean? And that's how you build a millionaire mindset.
Exactly.
You know, the mindset of succeeding and success. It's a mind frame.
It's definitely a mind frame, man. And I remember having a conversation, something that stuck with me when we was talking. We was talking about manipulation and saying pretty much in life you have to be a thinker and to be able to manipulate things in your favor. And I think people, when they hear the term manipulation, it has a bad connotation usually. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Without realizing that manipulation doesn't have to be a necessarily a bad thing. And that's something that stuck with me when we had the conversation.
Manipulation is something you can get to help with solutions.
Right.
You know, and when you get into the mind frame of success is dealing with solutions all the time and not letting the solutions, the problems get the best of you. You got to do it over and over, because where you're going is the level of new levels, new devils, new pains, new growths, and you got to understand the wisdom from each level to get you. But you only see the wisdom helps you with solutions. So that's why it's so important to learn from what you're going through, so you don't keep on having the same problems.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Also, and gain wisdom, or if you don't learn what you go through, learn from someone else's pain.
Yep.
And I was doing a podcast the other day, and we was talking, and he was like, what made you realize you need to change? I was like, shit, my mama seeing pain in her eyes, knowing that her pain reflects the way I feel externally. And I don't know it, because when you're going through shit, you don't know you're going through shit. You know what I mean? Because you think everyone around you are haters or criticizing you or opinionated people. So you don't know you're going through this shit, man, until someone you really trust can say, man, like you see pain in their eyes, and say, damn, if I see pain in your eyes, I mean, you see pain on me. Because we either are our projections or our reflections. That's why you are what you eat, you are what you're around, and everything. You are what you project. If I hate you, that means I hate myself. That's what no energy you want to attract. So if I need hateful energy around me to thrive, that means I'm a guy that thrives in bad situations, but that's not always good. That is survival mechanisms. You know what I mean? And you don't want your solutions always to be out survival. You want your solution to become structure so they can be something you can thrive in. You know what I mean?
That's deep.
And that is the biggest thing about a mind frame of abundance. Millions would come, but not just millions of money, millions of people, millions of ideals, millions of solutions. You know, so you got to learn discernment now. You only learn discernment from wisdom. And wisdom, how do you learn? Through pain. Watching my pain or your pain. So that's why it all comes back into, hey, so you got to be solution based because you got to learn how to deal with shit when it comes your way now. When you have a mind frame of abundance and providing for your kingdom or your sanctuary, what are you providing for? You know what I mean? So
No, you going deep, and when you were speaking, I was thinking of something because one thing that I like about you is you very articulate, you eloquent, and I know from speaking last time, I know your background, where you come from. So talk about. Yeah, you gotta
something new gonna pop up
every
time we back.
Every time the hat, the
Rose Aesthetics, man. Make sure you go get your aesthetic teeth, man. Listen, we are not only a brand of dentistry, we are a lifestyle brand. That cleanness is really next to godliness, man. And if you don't believe it, if you don't think I'm bullshitting, man, smell somebody and guess what the first thing you're gonna do? You're gonna literally, what energy you create when you smell some bad breath or a bad person or energy, which and it just knock you down just a little bit. Just a little bit. Just I got down. I can't trust this person. Stink. You know. So, but when you get in that mind frame of it, you start realizing like, nah, cleaning must mean I must walk in a structure and realize like, hey, you know, it's gonna rain on the just and unjust. So I must
rain on the just and
unjust. So like, shit, you can be perfect and still
go through some shit.
And that is the blessing of life. You know, that's truly the blessing. And when you get to the age of, you know, learning and going through and experiencing wisdom and mind frame creating, you know, like shit, I can't be bipolar. So to prevent me from going bipolar, I must know that it's going to rain on the just and unjust. There are going to be good days and bad days, but I won't complain. Because those who only see, I'm going to manifest a good life only.
It's not going to happen like that.
It's not. And it's sad, like, someone asked me, like, you just sit there and think about and I don't dwell on bad days, but I know they're going to come.
They're going to come for everybody.
I know they're going to, because it says in the Bible. If not only that shit, it says in the street code, shit. A minor setback for a major comeback. So, shit, what code you want to come in? You want to go to energy code, vibes? Shit. So, whatever code you want to talk in.
And to talk about this is what I want to ask you. Talk about being able to because I think this is an extremely important skill. And I know this is something that you can do. Being able to maneuver because you coming for the background, coming from the streets. Like you just told me, you just had a meeting before the podcast. You just had a meeting with the superintendent of Dallas.
Yes, sir.
So talk about how are you able? Because this is a skill that people want to learn. Some people that come from the streets, they're like, man, I don't know how to deal with the corporate world. There's people that's in the corporate world don't know how to deal with the other side. So talk about meshing both sides and knowing how to do it.
You truly gotta manifest the shit you're going through, right? So in order to manifest, you gotta go put yourself in that role. Right now, I'm the artist right now. Download my new digital album, Dr. Rose, Flight 717, streaming on all platforms. Get it, man. Download a digipack and enter a chance to win a free smile. A free fucking smile.
A free smile, that's big.
Yeah, that's big. So you download the album and let me know, and you refer a friend. Go to manifestyoursmile.org, man. And listen, get the album. It's one of the best albums out right now. I'm not bullshitting you. I'm serious. It's a great one. It's a great one because this is when I was going through a phase and say, well, what's Flight 717? It's literally I was going and seeing a lot of butterflies, but I was saying 717. 717 is like a great spiritual awakening is happening because it was time when I was going through, I think everyone was going through a shift around March. And everyone's like, man, around like starting New Year's, like, man, I feel something happening. And the shift is happening. All the nerds, like, the great shift is happening. They start feeling it, right? And you start seeing butterflies. I think people went through a phase where seeing butterflies a lot. Right. And all that, and knowing your shadow work and knowing, like doing your shadow work to know your darkness and your light in order to shed light. You know, and this is what this album about. It's a lot of wordplay in there. It's a lot about, like, man, listen, professionals relax too. Professional download musics. So it's like, people, what's your lane? My lane is the working individual. So you ask me, how do I market to the working individual. Everyone works. We have to be humble to someone. You either the boss, you have to show your humility to the fans or your crowd that you're servicing, and listen. Listening is a humility.
It is.
Like, that is literally the ultimate form of humility is listening. Because I got to see what is real and what's fake from you, but I gotta really listen to you. I gotta check your vibe out. I gotta look in your eyes. I gotta see if you move like a snake where you can't look me in the eyes. I gotta see all these things, but I gotta literally listen. So when you're a boss, solution based, you gotta listen in order to come up with it, because God work in people. That's why I say, even if a person hating on you, he still may be telling you the truth. He may be the bold one telling you the truth because he hates you.
That's
you
a
know,
fact.
but I ain't taking that's opinion. That's hate. Listen, he may be telling the goddamn truth. Right? So God works in people. So when you market, you listen to, like, I got a lifestyle brand. Teeth. You speak life into existence. You can't tell me you don't. Because a lot of people come to me and say, man, I ain't smiled in 20 years, doc. Because I ain't had no teeth. You learn, your face is molded off your teeth and your happiness. Happy people live longer.
Yep.
These are facts. So when you say, you know what, I'm in the central of, like, what do I have to do in order to, market? Be real. Be whatever you talk about. Also more like, nigga, I ain't your savior, Jesus Christ is, but I accepted him, my Lord's person, Jesus Christ too. And you should too, man. You should too. Like, you should too, because, hey, listen, you lift me the fuck up. I told you it's going to rain on the good and bad. So, yes, I'm going to do some dumb shit in my life. Because I got to learn. And that's why I always say God has blessed me to be in the field that's always elevating. It pushes you to elevate new technologies. And also I'm always learning, which means I'm always going to fuck up too.
Right.
Because it's always going to be a learning curve. You gain wisdom in the learning curve.
That's a fact. Let me ask you this. In your opinion, is, 'cause this is a question I like asking people, is spirituality and wealth, are they aligned? Are those two things meshed together, or are those two separate things? Because I know a lot of people say spiritual, like you have to be some kind of spiritual person to build wealth. And then you got people that say, no, them two separate things.
Wealth, it depends on, so I always say wealth in abundance, right? Because wealth in abundance is a mind frame. Mm-hmm. So if you believe in abundance, you have to believe in a higher being. Which means the higher being, if you know that God works in people, which means you can do a lot to manipulate the solutions and outcome, but you got to know, like, God worked too. You know what I mean? That's where the whole fine line of manipulation is solution-based. You still can't be the determining factor because God is. So when you're a person of higher levels, you know that I am interacting with some of the same people I met at lower level sometimes. Just with a higher energy and a higher level, So you got to learn a discernment once again, because when you reach these levels, you got to learn, okay, I learned about bad spirits on this frame of my face in my life. So I must pay attention, because even though you got a lot more money, or you may have money, you still resemble the same characteristic traits.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So you have to. Because you got to know what the type of person you're dealing with. Because that's the whole point of learning curves and knowing who to seek wisdom from, or who's in your camp to seek and destroy. You don't know what a bad person looked like if you only saw good people.
If you only saw good people.
So you use that because it's people that would come in just to take advantage of you. The whole point of business is someone needs to win. Because no one believes that everyone can win. Everyone can win, but someone needs to feel the ego.
Somebody needs to feel like I beat you.
Exactly.
That's the thing. That's what business.
So in order to be successful, you got to have a succession at some point. You got to succeed. So it's like, so who I'm going to succeed to in order to win again? Because that's a whole about selling your brand off and all it looks like. I want to be successful and I want to succeed. Like, so I don't want. It's so much shit that you got to do, and to say, you know what, I have to learn people. That responsibilities may walk into their life, and who's to say their responsibility is not more important than my responsibility to my business? So when you're doing it, you gotta say, you know what? Some people gonna always resort to what their God is,
right?
And their God, you may invest in a lot of money into the individual, but their God has never been your guide. So when they go pleasing, they're not going to please you first because you please a higher being and they please a separate being. So they always going to resort to pick what they pleasing
What
and
they
make
pleasing.
leave your job. And next you go into the same, like, damn, why I keep on choosing the same people? Because you choosing comfort. You know, so it's like, yeah, you gotta know spirits when you go to business. So you got to, or you're gonna keep on dealing with the same people. And how you gonna grow?
You're not gonna grow. It's gonna be hard. You keep coming across people.
And I know that shit got long-winded,
No,
but it's like, I had to bring it together. Say you gotta know it.
That's deep. I hope people really I hope they really understand what you're saying, because that is deep in business. This one thing I learned being in business is there's vultures out here.
Yeah.
And they have on their best face. They have on the best clothing. They look good. You know what I'm saying? Everything, the appearance like this. Like I remember I think my dad told me that somebody said this a while ago. They said the devil don't come wearing red horns and dressed in red. The devil gonna come looking like you, like looking similar to you, dressed like you.
And when the devil seeks you at your most weakest point.
That's your weakest point.
So how do we get to a level, and that's why I say, like, man, if we really want to talk about it in any phase you can talk about it in the devil. The devil seeks you at the weakest point. Right, cool. All right, you can also say when you're at your weakest point, you get your low vibrational energy. What's the biggest thing on low vibrational? That shit really do. When you go eat all that food, you get tired. Your gut gets full, so you can't make clear decisions. You're making decisions out of laziness. That's why most people with a successful routine, they get up at early points so they can beat the sun up, because it feels good to beat the sun up, because you're always in competition. You always, man. Listen, success as a mind frame is, what am I competing with today? Because I know anything can be something that I must learn from. You know, it has to be. And that's when you got to learn how to click the shit out.
You don't even realize it. You just now every day I got to get up before the sun up. I always got to be in competition now, and I'm serious too. I'm finna be up every day before the sun up in the gym doing all that, because that's a hell of a, because how you do one thing is how you do everything.
Exactly.
That's how I was raised. So if you can get up, you can make yourself get up and say, no, I'm in competition. I got to beat the sun. You really in competition with yourself, if you really think about it.
But that's the competition. That is that is like, I want to be consistent. How you be consistent? Be competition with yourself. Joy comes in the morning too. Hello. You think that shit real? You think that shit is like just such a song that said joy? No, that is something real. Joy comes in the morning. Get up early, beat the sun up. Literally have a Jane playing your day out, and literally see it feels good that it go at least right for the first part. You're gonna be happy as shit that at least run right for the first part, or you're gonna be happy at least that you woke up in time to get shit ready if things was already going fucked up. So no, joy really comes in the morning, but not if you had a bad night.
Damn.
So that's why.
Like I said, I hope this not going over people's heads. So keep going. Keep going.
No, it's some serious shit. That's why niggas like if you've been in tune with your body, it will allow you to adjust, because your body, you built with these mechanisms. Let's talk about science of adaptation. You built with a normal adaptation, but we don't listen to the God in us either, because we're so busy. We're so busy because we're conditioned. I can work at 100% efficiency if I'm busy. No, the fuck you can't multitask, because you can't make clear decisions when everything around you is going on. You know? So I tell people, get up in the morning, beat the sun up, the world is still.
Yeah, it is.
The world is still around 3:30. Mm-hmm. My favorite, 3:30, 4 o'clock, the world is quiet.
Super quiet. Clarity.
Clarity.
This is what comes.
Then you watch the sun come up. You be like, fuck, this feels good to know that I've been through this, and I still can say, all right, it's enjoyment. All right, let me go. So it's a part of literally maturation process of knowing that small things are beautiful. And that's a mind frame, once again. The mind frame of a successful, wealthy, abundance, saying, hey, I have enough if I learn to always get better and do what my body naturally tells me to, adapt. Because if you're always looking to learn, which means you're always going to be in a situation to get better and still adjust with the learning curve that life is giving you. You know, and that's why I'm adjusting with the lifestyle of saying, hey, you do dentistry. Your lifestyle must be clean. Adjust with it. Create a lifestyle brand now. That's have you heard of it in dentistry? I don't know, but what I know is, hey, shit, it's easy to be who you are. Walk in a good light. Why? Because shit, my lifestyle is saying, get up in the morning, make good decisions, boom, boom, do this, plan your day out. They already say, God say, order your footsteps, order your steps. What do you think it looks like in reality? Literally getting up and literally rehearsing what you're going to do for the day. They literally, I talk a lot, but it's like, shit, watch movies, man. Have you ever seen a guy rehearse for a speech he about to give to his wife?
Over and over.
You do that shit in real life. Literally rehearse for the job you want. So you get up and rehearse how you're going to interact with people. Oh, shit, I can't say that. Oh, shit, it was dumb. Why the fuck you say that, man? Literally, I do this in like because I deal with so many people on a business level. So you got to know how to interact. You got to know how to read spirits.
And everybody different.
And everybody different. So that's why, like, nah, you going to be in a mind frame of shit. Interaction, respect boundaries, and knowing when to hold them or fold them, when to draw in or withdraw out. You know, so it's even way, everything at this thing going to cause you to read people.
Read. And
that's what we talked about earlier, was the manipulation. Make sure you're not reading the people around you.
But I want to ask you this, though. So for the people that's listening, they be like, man, I don't really, how can I read people? What's the best way I can read people? I can see through somebody, maybe not immediately, but I can just read them good enough to know how to deal with this person. Does it take experience to deal with enough fucked up people to know how to read people better? Or is it just something that you can learn?
I'm tell you something. It's people that has been put in life or death situations that they never done anything of that sort and literally just listen. And just listen to what the inner thought. They say when God can speak in a steady voice, tone. Everyone has that voice. But oh shit, my phone ringing. Goddamn, I got distracted. No, I'm thinking like for real.
Yeah.
Just like shit, I got distracted.
It's all good. It's all good.
This what happens.
Oh
That's what happens.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
When you're so busy, literally, we just did it. You forgot what you was gonna go through.
No, facts.
Right? Because you're so busy in the thought of literally surviving, adapting, of literally you learning in your flight or fight, and your arms on your the hairs on your arms standing up and saying, "Get out of here." That's a bad fucker. Nah, you distracted. And then you just lost on major shit. So the stock market changed that way. Life or death happens that way. Everything happened in a split second.
No, that's facts.
Everything happened. That's what this album talks about. Me going through a trial and tribulation where everything happens in a split second. And me finding Christ that, oh shit, it wasn't me who thought that. I didn't listen to I listened to the inner thoughts. Everyone has them, but we know when we have bad inner thoughts.
Yep.
We good. We can call them bitches out all day. We can call out bad thoughts all day. God, now me must know what I was thinking about his ass. Right? Or when something bad happens, man, I knew I should have did this. Someone was telling me.
Yep.
Always. Guess what? We all have those thoughts of natural survival. But we get distracted. So you just pay attention and listen. How can you just tell what a bad person is? You ride it pretty red and you done ran into them. You don't feel the right energy. It doesn't fit well with you.
It don't feel
doesn't
right.
fit well. Shit, the energy base. It just didn't feel right to you. So you just say, you know what? It's just not probably don't work out between us. Not because it just you're about to kill her or something. You may show up to this every time we meet, every day, late every day, every time we meet. Which means shit. You might be late every time we have important business decisions. Which means shit, you may win a few times, but the times you lose, it may be like very big, and I don't want that to ever happen. You know? And that's when it looks like when you play to the level of your competition. Do you want someone who always going hard or playing someone at the level of their competition? You don't want that. That's why if you base your competition off anyone else, you only set yourself up for failure because you're playing at their level.
Yep.
So, but when you, like we said, we base our competition off us. God damn it, I woke up at 7:17 and it's late and the sun already up. I lost that bout already. That's me versus me now. I'm only working to get me better and on a consistent basis. So that's how I look at life.
That's a great way to look at life too. And it's something else that you said last time we was talking that really stuck with me. And you said one of the best things somebody can do right now is be silent. And you said because we're in a period where everybody wants a voice and everybody is eager to speak. Yeah. And it's like, if you're silent, you will be able to see through people bullshit when they lying, when they full of shit. Like the best thing you could do is just sit back right now at this time, in this social media era where everybody thirsty to say something and just watch people.
Yeah,
And that's heavy, bro.
and the thing, it comes with actions, but people are so used to talking and their actions being so long because Instagram give a momentary instance a long value. You know, think about it. It used to be where you do blessings, and it works the opposite of blessings. It give a small, something long. When the blessing is something you work for something so long, and you tasted it one brief time. You know, and that's what the whole power of feeling pain before you overcome to greatness. You work so long, and when you tasted it, you kind of want it again. Right? Rams go through it. Every Super Bowl winner go through it. Tom Brady's dealing with it right now.
He's dealing with it right now.
He's sacrificing something.
Yep.
But he tasted what it feel like to achieve ultimate what
greatness.
he deems success.
Exactly. Ultimate greatness.
Right? And
within his field.
Within his field. And it's always come with a sacrifice. And God tells you, like, hey, you know, I in order to achieve this, I gave my son. You know? So we talk about all these things. We talk about sacrificing and being achieving greatness. And that's what greatness is. Someone who can walk a period of his time, his whole life, and still get killed. That shows you it's going to rain on the just and unjust. And greatness is longevity, but people only see you for a brief moment.
And I'm glad you said with the sacrifice. This is something that I think a lot of people fail to realize. We are at a period where people think they could want it all or have it all. They can get everything without giving anything. And that is a mindset that I think cripples a lot of people because there's so much sacrifice that comes into doing anything at great. Look at what you're doing within the dentist industry. How many sacrifices did you have to make to get to the top of that, become who you are?
And the thing is, right, I've been doing it for 5 years. Some people would say that's a long time. A 5-year rap career is a long time, right? Mm-hmm. But but if you live life on abundance, right. You know, like shit, I need about 30, 40. But while I'm recognized as one of the top dentists, I work hard to maintain a level, but it's always someone new comes in. That's why I say, like, when you have that time, you must take advantage of it, but you also know, like, shit, I'm in ability to listen. You know, I'm in the ability to start listening and start picking and choosing what discernment I want to listen to and what journey I don't mind attaching my brand to, you know, and help further the journey about the partnerships and you meeting someone along the way. Like, hey, I just went through that type of trial and tribulation. Let's combine because I want to share your story and we can exchange stories about how we're going to get there further. Or you can meet them in passing, like, hey, yeah, you going that way? Let me tell you something. Along that way is trouble, but you can go that way if you want to. But shit, I'm going back the other way now. We always meet people in passing. But, you know, we're not listening because you only know, when you know that God works through people, you know that shit, you gotta listen now. I mean, that's what we talk about. God working through people. God worked through dreams.
Right. God
working, coincidences. God worked through in so many ways is like you gotta literally listen. Because it'll tell you, like, it just happened, you know? It just happened, goddamn. And guess what? Like, that's the God in you. And you knew it was gonna happen. It's just that moment. That's why you always got to be ready. But being ready is all about preparation of what you feel is you got to be ready for. Because we was talking earlier about a meeting with the superintendent today.
Right.
And I forgot about it because I'm going through so much stuff this week and last week at the office, right? And I was like, I'm not prepared. But shit, I had to think about, like, nigga, you've been preparing your whole life for this. Lean in with the truth. I literally told, like, I'm going to tell you the truth. This is what I look to do. And speak and let God speak through you because God worked through people in yourself, in your vessel. So I literally say, man, listen, I literally thought about how I was going to squeeze something that's going to take about 30 years to build through structure and a mindset of literally saying, let's tackle with the kids in elementary, middle school, and high school. And literally when they get in a position of knowing that STEAM, technology, and arts and engineering is the way of creating the future, they know they'll come back and turn and say, let's grab more people like I did. And I realized it worked, right? So I was like, you know what? Tell the truth, shit. What are you prepping for? Cut out all the fluff and give it the meat and potatoes. Potatoes is going to take structure.
Structure, yep.
And that's every person who building successful know, like, I must build a foundation first. Then I must scale up. Then I must continue to scale up. Then I must learn from the feedback from my audience now. I must learn from the feedback. Once again, if you're a boss, you got to learn from your consumer, and take back with that data. In scientific, we call it the scientific method. We throw out some test runs, and we get it back, and we say, all right, from this variables and this data collected, what can we assess from this sample size? So in life, we all do it. You just got to learn how to convert it from what you want to do in each phase. And that's what we're always doing now, is literally learning and collecting data and learning from the data and saying, this is how we adopt our phase for the next level.
For the next level.
You know?
Makes sense. Let me ask you this. Passion or money? Somebody that's young, that's trying to better themselves, better their life, what should you be going after first? Should you go after your passion or should you go after the bag? And I always ask this question. I always get mixed reviews, but in your opinion, what you think?
Man, the beauty about having a fucking plan, your plan can be in somewhere else. Passion is emotions. So money is emotional. You know, money has emotional energy. So it literally, like, it depends on which way you go. Get it? I literally seen both sides of life. I've seen a street side of life, and I've seen a corporate side of life. They both the same. You know, they both the same. So it's like, shit. It depends on what kingdom you try to raise, because anybody can justify their kingdom with perspective.
That's facts.
You know what I'm saying? Just because a president kingdom may be 3 billion, this or that, my kingdom may be 30 people. But guess what? Shit, if I got to protect over here, I'm going to protect over here, just like you're going to protect the United States. What makes your moral integrity different than mine? Because I have discernment power. What makes your discernment power more justified than mine? Because I have character. So it's like, shit, my character gonna say, lean towards the opportunity and chaos.
The opportunity and the chaos.
Yeah.
So you saying run to the chaos?
No. In chaos, you find those tweeners, right? Those who don't know which way they want to go.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Right.
Yeah.
When the pandemic happened, it had chaos, right? And me being a profession of health, I feel like in the midst of chaos, a lot of people in the health professions won, because people got their body done, teeth done, they got everything done. So my passion and money aligned. So it's like I can't really just gas and say which way to go, because I know some people who can literally think themselves way through a money situation just so they can come up with a passion. And like me, people say, "Oh, what's your passion?" I say my passion is art. I'm just not realizing dentistry is a part of my passion. You know what I mean? Because my passion was make a sustainable lifestyle and go live your passion. So I had to choose the money.
Yeah, right. So you could get to the other side.
Right? So it's like, I can't.
But some people choose the other side first.
Yeah.
It helps to get into the money.
So I had to literally, my passion. You see, listen, I love designing. I love designing teeth. I love designing merch. I love motherfucking jewelry. I love a lot of things that deal with arts, because I love like crafty stuff, right? And I just put it in real life aspects now and do it and put it on myself. So my passion was that, but who passion gonna be school?
Right.
Like, serious, do you know how to school? School is a fucking verb now. Go to school. How? Drug dealers, old heads, go to school. How? You didn't show me. Seriously. So they made school a verb, and like, I didn't know how to do it. Go to college. How? Oh, you gotta apply for shit. Oh shit. Oh, you gotta do this. Oh, you gotta set classes up. Oh, So that's not a passion.
Yeah, it's not.
That's something me listening to people. Man, they just listen. That's why I say you gotta listen. I listen to people because I didn't know how. And that's the thing with a blueprint and structure. And that's why a lot of businesses don't succeed, make it even get to a point to where they feel like they success, because the structure comes when discernment and learning. All right, I must learn from that in order to build. You only can build on a solid structure.
Right,
so
right.
If you build with mud and not concrete, that means you got shitty people around you, and it's gonna keep on collapsing. So you must learn spirits. You must learn people in order to surround yourself with the right people to give you the right knowledge to always learn and grow. So people like, school wasn't my passion. I had a love for just naturally wanting to learn science because it made me feel smarter than everybody. I went to nursing school. People like me, they start asking all types of blood pressure questions. You go to family reunions, you're asking every goddamn thing. Because you're a doctor or you in school to be this, so they assume you that already.
Yes, they assume that's what you
So
are.
shit, I was Vanessa. Hell yeah, what you? Yep, yep. But I was well equipped with knowledge too to learn that I am what I am, saying to tell the truth. So that's why my finesse became real. I just became what it was. But it's like I've always had a passion for it, art and like big thinking. It just took me to go through school to learn. Like I just can't get what I want right off the bat.
Facts. Let me, man. Hey, you touching on a lot
Even
of things
school
right
money.
now.
Shit, let's get in there. Manipulation of money in school. Shit, school costs. So you got to think
Too
about
damn
money.
much.
So you got to think about money in school. Shit.
At the end of the day, we live on Earth, man. Earth is nothing but a place that's filled with people. So you can't live this life without dealing with people. So that's why this is important to read people. But something you said, I want to ask you about. You said money is an emotion. What you mean by that?
Shit, look what it comes with. Emotions tied to it. So that's why money, energy, if you chasing money, you're gonna be on a fluctuate. You're gonna up and down as the money go. You know?
That's true.
And that's why we talked earlier about being consistent and not being on a scale of up, down, bipolar, and saying I can't let money be my ruler of evil. I can't let my emotions be my ruler of evil. And I can't let all these things get the best of me now. Because that way I acted growing up is not the same way I can act in this setting. You know? So it's like you can't be emotional, but then also I can't make decisions based off money if I have an abundance mind frame. Because I must monopolize the money. That's why they talk monopoly. I must know how to move it. I must know how to not get worried about what taxes, how much tax I got to pay if I'm bringing in money. I must know how to spread the wealth. Even it shows you how to spread the wealth in the tax community too as well. So it shows you how to, the structure always been the Bible. Business, money was like the government was built off like those foundations. So it's like when you learn the structure of abundance, it comes from taxing, like, you know, getting away to avoid paying, not even avoid paying taxes, but putting your money and giving back to charities to bless and like lower your tax loopholes and finding other ways to give and buying stuff that you may need for your company, you know, and all these things and creating this mind frame of my life is a business, so I can use this over here to further this. And even if I am 30,000 or 50,000 to hold on this, I must know how to say, all right, I got this built up for my residual, and you know what I'm saying, my zero income, and I have this for rainy days, and I have this just for office staff. I gotta have a rainy day for me, and I gotta have a rainy day for my staff, you know, for my business, because those are two separate, you know. And that's when you gotta learn abundance and know how to manipulate the money. And that's why manipulation is one of the things where you can't have emotions. That's why I say you gotta literally cut it off. Like, I'm not gonna do family with business because manipulation is not emotional. It's literally say, you can't do that. Nah. You know what I mean? Manipulation is the truth. It's literally, I'm going to use the truth and say, hey, I need to sway you this way because you're not good in the area. Boom, boom, boom. You know? So that's why you got to be real careful who you do it with. You know? And it just being real. You got to know. And we do it all the time. And people act like, nah, we don't do it. We do it when we don't know shit in class, but we go ask a professor a question just to be seen. That's manipulation. You know, think about it. Like, I just want to be seen by the professor, so if I go ask him a question, guess who do it good? White people. They're going to get to know their professor. They're going to go to study hour.
Smart.
They're going to go to review sessions. And if I'm borderline, guess what? I put that work in, mother. For real. It works. So it's not like you just got to be real intent with it now. So you got to be real intentful and say, hey, this is what I'm doing. But I know that there's a good purpose behind it. And that's why I say, like, when you find God, you start realizing this shit.
Is there anything about us when it comes to money? Because I know being financially independent now, financially empowered, it was a time you wasn't financially empowered. So talk about, is there anything that you know about money or came to the realization about money now that you is completely opposite of what you thought it was on the other side?
I don't like speaking about money. First of all, I think I talked about that because, all right, I always it's like it sound like one of the things like, oh, you just want them big. Nah. I literally used to tell my friend like, bro, money ain't real. You mean a physical number is gonna tell me how I feel? Like literally, like because I've always operated in creation, so which means I know how to create abundance because my mind frame is thinking Rose Aesthetics, lifestyle dentistry, or get your hat, man. Goes along with the merch of download another form of injury is Flight 717. You know, also, man, I didn't want to bring it up, but I am going to bring it up. Oh, what about the merch? The Rose Aesthetic line, Concrete Rose.
That's hard.
Merch that we're going to give Xavier today, man. Look at this, man.
Hey, that's love,
This
man.
is creation. So you don't tend to think about money. You think about curating and expanding and elaborating.
You're a producer.
Reproducing, right? And literally learning to always, it's yours, brother, man. I got actually everything up here is for you. It's a lifestyle brand, dentistry, and we have, you know, everything, literally, all this, man. Let's go and grab this. Yeah, mug, man, all that. In the album, download it, streaming everywhere, man. It's gonna slide that to you too, brother.
Appreciate this, brother. For real,
So
man.
you think in a mind frame of abundance, I gotta always reproduce, like you said, and just saying like, if I have the right people that know how to put a value to what the fuck I'm creating, I'm gonna be good. You know, and that just you gotta have the trustworthy people that what you're creating is good. Like you just
I was about to say.
like, and that's what like I listen to the people and they confirm what I'm creating. Like when you get the hoodie and like, oh, this so hard when you listen to my music, oh shit, they like what I'm doing. So keep doing it. Be everything. But know that you're everything because of God. No, you believe in the Savior because you'll never be what everyone wants you to be, but you can be everything to the people that believe in you.
They believe in you.
They believe in you. That's why I say your energy gonna always go towards people that literally give you that I want to feel home. You know, and with my people, I feel home because it's like shit. I appeal to people that believes in the brand of saying, hey man, listen, discipline. Delayed, not denied. All that shit.
Delayed, not denied. That's a bar, bro.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like I believe in that shit in abundance. And if I get the right people around me, I still look for it. New levels, new devils, but new heights means you got another ceiling to break through, you know? So
Let me, not to cut you off, but you know, people always say new level, new devils. What does that, like, when people say that from your perspective, what does that really mean? What does that really look like?
what it looks like is if God worked through people, so does the devil at your weakest point. And when your weakest point is when we go feel stress. When we feel stress, like what is the things that we do? Everything we do is decompresses the stress level in us. You know, so like I tell you, like when you get at a state where you keep on lowering and you have so much stress, the stress that's been applied to you going, you know, lower the threshold of what you can receive in, right? So if I'm at a low energy state, that means I can receive whatever energy that comes my way, good or bad.
Right. Which could be dangerous.
And guess what I said I aim for? I aim for the person that's in between. You can't converse with a devil and think they're going to change him. No, because one of the devil's greatest form of manipulation is deceit and
deception.
It's perception. I mean, like
deception.
Mm-hmm. So that's why I say, like, no, you aim for the ones those that want to change, but still, like, don't know how to get out of it, you know, but still know, like, all right, if you come with this, I want to not convert you. I got to know, compartmentalize you. Where can I best put you now? You know, because I see greatness in you, but where can I best put you? So that's when you say, you know what? The kids are the tweeners. You know, the adults, you got to know what you're dealing with when it comes to the business stuff. You got to. You know, so new devils comes when you say, all right, new phase of my life, same characteristics like we talked about earlier, different money level, you know, but they still have an inner child in them that literally displays when they're weak, I see something in them that acts out that I don't like. You know, and it's going to always bother you. And if you do it all the time, and it's your pattern, that becomes your persistence. And it's going to persistently knock me at a low level. So everything is a train of what can happen, chain reaction now. You know, so you really got to watch out for the people that comes in the same form now, but they come with more money, greater energy of manipulation. You know, like you literally gotta look at it. And I do not talk ill about nobody. So, but we send people with these big platforms, right? Like you said, you gotta listen now because, damn, you're not speaking with consistency. You this and that. Can I trust now what you're saying? One minute you're good, one minute you're not, which means you're emotional. And as I said, so one of the biggest skills is a Tom Brady. Where it knows Tom Brady just forget about the last play. You know?
Right.
Just
You
forget
just
about the
keep it
last
moving.
play. So when you mismatch that and say, all right, these emotions, if I can contain myself, right? And this is why I was saying like about the poker. Like you gotta watch the whole table now. You gotta learn how to deal with the hand you dealt, and you gotta learn how to win the table. But you only can know that if you study mannerisms and patterns. So that's why poker is very much of like, nah, it's the ultimate life game. You don't even deal your hard cards. Someone give you your cards, right? You got to pick them bitches up. You can't create an expression because someone knows you have a bad hand. But you dealing with some of the people of the elite. Which means, guess what? You're dealing with people that can read you too. So you got to make sure that you glance with a different glance. So you look with a different, your energy is different. You got to be even kill. Poker face. That was call it poker face. Call it poker face for a reason.
Yeah.
You can't keep on getting to different levels of life and not have one. What they call in the street, don't let the right hand know what the left hand
is
doing.
doing.
So that's when you convert a street mentality to a life mentality to say, you know what? In the streets, they say don't let the right hand know what the left hand doing. In this business world, it's called poker face. New levels, new devils. When you take that old mentality from surviving to thriving, it's a new devil now because you're dealing with people who know how to thrive too. Mm-hmm. You already made it out the survival pool.
And they preying on you.
Yeah, now they preying on your business now.
They preying on your business,
They
your
preying
pockets.
on your business. Like either how can I shut this business that's going to be super booming down, or how can I get in and take it?
Take it. Mm-hmm.
So it just becomes you must walk in discipline and integrity around your whole fucking company.
And
Because you're not dealing with them anymore. You're dealing with some new people that has the manpower to where you want to compete with. That already put that shit in structure and written way before they even started their business. Where we work reverse. We start our business, then start trying to get legal together.
That's facts.
Because we had to get the money first, huh? What'd you say earlier? Money and pay. No, you got to get the money. They start with money trains. Knowing that, hey, this structure must be this, and we're going to expand 2 years from now, so let's just go and get the whole building. Well, we like, nah, just give me one small corner, and I'm going to make it do. And I'm going to work my way out this corner. That's surviving. Mm-hmm. To where they going to buy the whole building and know, like, we're going to develop a system because we're going to take their money that they give us because we already know how to get it and literally say, you know what, this is working capital for the next 3 years. Most successful businesses, they start turning a profit after 3 years. Where we think, if you're not successful in the first 2 months or 3 months, it's failing.
You're right.
You know what I mean? That's why I say they greatness happened over a period of time, but you only see it from this shop. And like, damn, they really grew it in front of our face, y'all. But y'all see it right now when it's got all the advertising budget. Because they've been working.
Been working for years.
They got that working capital, boy. We turned it down because we were scared to take another loan out. They used it and expanded because they had a mind of abundance first.
Mindset.
They already know they expanded.
Before they even got it.
But they already prepare for expansion where we work our way to expansion. And when we get there, we realize, oh, shit, I ain't got the structure for expansion now. You know what I mean? Where they work it like, okay, we know we're going to expand. We got to come here. So this is a structure we got to build and to get there where they already got it built. Here's the stage where we got to say we're going to build each way. And like, shit, how we do it? I don't know, but we got here.
Yeah, we don't know, but you're going to figure it out.
Yeah, and that's our favorite line, too.
And that's what's crazy is I literally just recently, I was saying, you know, everybody want to be rich, everybody want to be wealthy, but in my opinion, I think most people not, just because most people are still, some people that give too much, some people naive, some people they are insecure, no discipline, reckless habits, got drug, alcohol addiction, all those things. And wealth don't blend because it'll literally destroy you.
And that's why it's a mind frame now. And you said, well, what is your perception of wealth?
As far as what?
Like, what do you consider what would be
What-
wealth to you? Like,
Wealth is good health, time freedom, unlimited time with your loved ones. That's all it is to me. Time freedom, good health, unlimited time with your loved ones doing whatever you want to do.
but you know what's one thing all wealthy people think?
What?
Protection.
Mm.
And that's why I said, nigga,
Wealth is protection.
Yeah, protection. What a protection? Documents, the way you move. If you operating from a monumental standpoint to where people got to see your wins, you got to move a certain way. But if you're operating over, and be a solid investor, you still got to move a certain way.
Still got to move a certain way because people still can see it.
People still can see it, So it's like protection comes around not just from personal security to mind frame protection. Knowing that everyone in this business have something to lose, which means you all gonna walk with this integrity. Because you don't want do you think in the small business of Fortune 500? Fortune 500 got a business culture. Small business got a family culture. Sometimes they don't go inside. What we talking about outside of the day, sometimes the thin line, because what you do around your family, you really wouldn't do around your business setting.
Exactly.
But when you combine both, they see you as family. Like, oh shit, they just beat themselves all the time. But that's not something good because it don't bode well for a business culture. Comfortability don't bode well for a business culture. Why? Because you want people always uncomfortable because that makes them want to grow. And want to learn and be eager and be the first. That's why people who success, they always say, I gotta get it. I need some go-getters around me. I need some gunners around me that's gonna go get it. Because they know, like, shit, if I invest in them, they're gonna turn and make the business grow too. You know what I mean? So it's about so that's why I said wealth is about protection, and having protection is having solid stuff around you where the people around you think on a mind frame to where we can't corrupt the business, and protection of personal life, security, and protection of future life to where if you live in 3 different phases, you live, so in the future is I gotta estates and all this shit that I want to put in my kid's name. So protect the future too as well.
Right.
So that's what wealthy people think in the mind frame of. I gotta make sure I compensate for last year and pay taxes. I got to operate in that and always provide this abundance for the team that I'm steady trying to grow with, instilling continued education values. And I got to think for the future for my kids that may not have the same tenacity that I have.
I got to protect their mental.
I got to protect their mental, so I got to create this plan to where they only get the money if they go to school. And they graduate, and I'm gonna slowly roll out the money. So that's the wealth plan, and that's when you say it's like, is you manipulating or you really solution based to protect your estate, and that's what we don't think about. And when artists die, we all say, man, what's wrong with their estate? Why they selling this? Because we didn't think for the 30 years. We thought 5 years of being a high artist was going to really just compensate for the whole lifespan of learning that people live to about 70, bro.
Right.
70, 80, you can get up there. Shit, what about after? That's when you just take this and say, protection of everything because I know where I'm going.
Man, like I said, man, this is one of them ones. I'm glad we was able to get back in the studio and make this happen. So it's a lot from this conversation. Now you just hit me with it. I'm definitely about to be thinking about again. But before I let you go, man, I just want to say thank you again for coming through, bro. This was like a real deep conversation. I hope a lot of the people that's listening could fully grasp the concepts and the things that you was fully saying that's not going over their head. And you already know we gonna man, I'm gonna have to keep you in the loop. I'm gonna have to keep you in a Dr. Rose cycle.
Hey, man, listen, I love this, man. Millionaire mindset, man. We gonna always think it, man. Listen, if your passion is chasing the millions, go ahead, do it, man. Because you're gonna learn along the way that the millions are gonna come when you just sit back and listen. And everybody around you gonna have ideas, and you just gotta pick and choose which one you like. I know you see it all the time. Shit, you get so many people coming to you with ideas to make the podcast. You be like, shit, which way I should go? You just gonna sit back and say, you know what, that one kind of line with me.
Yeah.
That one kind of line with me. You know what I'm saying?
It took me a minute to learn that. Because there's so many, I get so many brilliant people on the show that's doing so many things. They be like, you talk to them, and be like, this is something you should do too. And you be like, I could do all these things, wear all these hats. But I learned at the end of the day, just because something is working for somebody else doesn't mean it's for you. I mean, it's fitting to you. You need to do what works for you and what your vision is, your personality, all those things.
And your vision come from a past history. And I want to just say this, and that's why you got to know your history, know where you're going.
That's
because
a
your
fact.
ancestors give you this vision. God speaks to people. So you have it. Then you got to say, you know what? Well, who has a vision like me? That's a line. Like, where's media and podcasts? I always go back to journalism, broadcast, and all this stuff. So you know the maximum.
You know, you're right.
Media is the maximum what you can go to.
You're right.
It's about narrative now, how you want to dig and go get your sources in your stories. Now you can start picking and choosing. All right, this is what I want to do in media. This is how I want to get my stories. Then you can start aligning yourself. Like you literally can start like the solution based, always trying to find a way to get to where. How you find it? You get there. Them small plays.
Man.
You in media, bro.
Yep.
So much shit you can do.
So much. You're right.
Just listen. And
Man.
the shit that aligns with you and touch you, like, oh, that shit's a good idea. And say, you know what? Journalism has always been a wave.
Always.
Always. Depends
Damn.
on how you just want to get your story and report it.
That's facts, and it's a bar that Nas said on one of the songs. He said you can learn. He said you can learn who you are when you're around family, and that goes back to when you saying knowing your history, and that's very important. You got to know the history so you could really know who you are and understand yourself even more.
You see that shit when you see a lot of messed up smiles and you see the kid come in looking just like you, like, yep. Yo, genotype and your phenotype. Man, God damn
You
it.
stupid, man. Yeah, but before I let you go, man, plug in all your stuff again where people
Man.
can follow you, everything.
Well, you can find me. Ain't no clip rolling on cold. Nah, I mean, listen, you can find me at drrose.ilive, man. You can find me everywhere, man. I'm everywhere the wind blows. I'm everywhere that positive energy. I'm everything. Shit, God created me. So I'm everything I'm supposed to be. Communicator.
Merch. What about merch? Album.
Merch,
Merch
man,
album.
listen. Everything speaks for itself because there's a lot of energy tied into this shit. So there's a lot of like ups and downs, art creation. We're like, shit, that shit ugly. Listen to people tell me when some shit ugly. And literally, nah, man, listen, people, you put the right people around you, they tell you when a song suck real fast. Like, God damn it, you're a hater. But you might be real because I kind of was thinking that the song sucked too. But I need someone else to validate that. But I truly feel that my music is hard. I don't give a fuck what nobody says. But it's not even the cocky ego part of me saying that I truly speak, you know, what God messaged me to speak. And this is why this vessel is so important. You know, it's not from me, it's from God. God did it.
God did.
Rose!
Make sure y'all tap in to Dr. Rose, man, on everything. And like I said, I appreciate you again for tapping in. Make sure we got this done for the people, man.
Let's get it, man. Enter right now, manifestyoursmile.org. Right now, go enter a chance to win a free smile, man. Download a digipack, purchase the album, get some merch, get some hats, man. Manifest your smile, man. Listen to that. We got a whole lifestyle brand presented to you, and we're going to grow with you, and we're going to show like, hey, man, we are in it for the future because new technology coming. Oh, yes, sir, man. New technology coming, and we got something for the kids, the middle age, the old age, and we got something for you, too.
Definitely, man. Y'all make sure y'all tap into Dr. Rose for real. And for y'all that want to follow me, y'all can find me on all platforms at the official Xavier Miller. And you can follow the podcast, Millionaire Mindsets. That's available on everything as well. And this is all I got for y'all on this episode of the Millionaire Mindsets podcast. See you guys next episode. Peace.
Do it for yourself, then do it for your mama. Only stay surrounded by them people if you know they solid. Elevate your hustle up today to double up your profit. Trying to learn some game, Xavier gon' talk about it. No Deanna, speak that shit that everybody vouching. Ain't no more excuses valid. Get up off the couch and get up in your bag. To your bank account, need an accountant.